Okay. Versatile Vigilante, young Vince, Uncle Vinny. And we're in the gallery today, on the edge in Scottsdale with the one and only Miss Darcy Borg.
Hey guys.
What's going on, Darcy?
Not much. I mean, there is so much going on. My head is just absolutely full. But it's all wonderful things. So I can't complain.
That's the key. Yeah, I think busyness when you're enjoying it feels a lot different than when you're not, you know?
Absolutely.
So love to hear that. First of all, I really appreciate you having me. When you said pull up to the studio, I'm like, absolutely.
Nice.
And you got quite a few really amazing pieces over here. This is all your work, correct? Mm-hmm. How'd you even get in this gallery in the first place?
Oh, it's actually quite a funny story. I came in as an emerging artist,
Okay.
which is a program that this gallery does where you get 2 months free membership, and they promote your art. You have an opening, and it's just 2 months, and then you're gone. But you get to learn everything about the gallery.
Okay.
Well, I showed up for that, and my start date was a lot later than when I signed up. I asked if I could volunteer and be of more service to the gallery. And so I just started showing up every Thursday night, taking videos for the gallery, and I started doing all the videos and the social media and stuff for the gallery. And eventually they were kind of like, well, why don't you just be a full member? And, I couldn't, why not?
And here we are.
And here we are.
I love that. So how long have you been a full-time artist then?
Oh, it's a weird story. Because what happened is I was a film editor. And so, it's sort of like, when was the start date? Was it when I quit film editing, or was it, I'm not too sure. But either way, I quit film editing when I got really sick, working for KPHO, KTVK, Arizona's Family, as a film editor. And it is the best. They were so sweet. They were so wonderful. And they still are so great to me. But after that, I got really depressed, and I got really low, and it was like I was just sleeping all the time. And eventually my husband said to me, why don't you start painting again? Because it was what I always wanted to do when I was a kid. And film editing was sort of a detour. And so I picked up the brush again, and it was this reluctant chore, but it turned into this obsessive thing that I couldn't stop doing again. And it was like the little kid in me got sparked, So I don't know, 2022, 2023.
But it was part of your life in some ways
It's always been there, yeah.
Interesting.
But to actually have strangers want to buy my art, that's when I considered myself a real artist. It was like, okay, well, cousin Susie wants to buy a piece. Well, that's cute, right? But then it was like, oh my God, strangers actually they're actually connecting with me. And that's one of the most wonderful feelings.
Yes, it's beautiful when your friend or your family wants to support you. I love that. But it's different when a random person is like, this is great work.
Yeah, there's just something like, oh, they have no bias.
Correct.
They're not here to make me feel better. And they're willing to pay money for, 2 rabbits. How wonderful. I'm so glad that actually, it's just, it's an incredible feeling to have something that you've made like a little baby, I just feel like a little part of my soul goes to each painting. And then to have it connect to someone else is just a really wonderful feeling.
Love that. That's super interesting. You mentioned you took like a little detour. How did you get into the film editing in the first place? I'm interested in that.
Yeah. I was sort of a rough kid, and in my teens, I wasn't doing so well. And so I ended up with my, some bags, and I just ended up in Los Angeles, and no family, nowhere to go, and nothing really to do. And there was a film school down the street, and there was an art school. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay. And it was the Art Institute, which, by the way, is so easy to get into. You just have to pass a little math test and like an English test. And they're like, pop, give us money. They're out of business now. but they were wonderful. But it was a great school. You know, it taught me so many things, and I won a lot of awards there. I got bored though 2 years in, and then I just jumped. I just got really into film editing. I don't know. It's what I picked, but then I realized that I was getting ahead of people and I was getting bored. So I skipped 2 years of college and I applied to AFI, which is the American Film Institute Conservatory, and it's they accept 13 editors a year, and I happened to be one of them. And it was sort of like,
Wow.
oh, cool. I just really like their library. And so I just kind of kept flowing with what was coming towards me without really thinking about it. And it was great things, so I couldn't really complain, but there was always this this tug. Something wasn't in alignment.
Right. It wasn't truly what you felt you were meant to do.
Right. Because I went to the Maryland Institute College of Art, and what happened is I got Lyme disease,
Okay.
and I got Bell's palsy, so half of my face went paralyzed, and I couldn't finish. Well, I did finish my first year of college, but I did it mostly from my dorm room because I looked like a stroke victim. And anyway, so that was when I was 18. I became an alcoholic. I got Lyme disease, Bell's palsy. It was all really bad. And around that time, I was getting into making little films. But, you know, with like a camcorder.
Yeah. Like what kind of films?
Oh, they were weird artistic ones, but my friend would write the script for, and then I would sometimes act in them and direct. But it was, you know, like this woman, for one of them is this woman who wants nothing to do with this man, but he's in love with her, and so, but all she wants to do is go off and become a prostitute. And so eventually she throws a sink on his head. So they're very weird stories. It was a weird, 2008 was weird.
2008. Okay. And you were in LA at that time.
No, I was in Baltimore.
Okay.
Yeah, it was in Baltimore. And you know, anyway, but that is just its own story.
So the reason I asked, like, what was it, was because when you hear about people, you know, having health issues, addiction issues, whatever it is, I don't think the common thing after that is like, yeah, I was also making films. You know, like that's pretty ambitious, especially in very difficult personal times.
Yeah, I just feel like art has always kept me through whatever sort of form it was. I needed a distraction, an obsession,
Right.
you know, from what may have been going on in my life. I painted this alpaca floating in space. He has no worries whatsoever.
He's chilling.
He's just chilling. And that's, I want to bring, you know, I got really tired, for example, working for the news, and it was like, you'd hear people cheering like, oh, someone got decapitated. Okay, send the news crew.
Right.
And I was just like, oh my God, I have to make this palatable for everyone like out there. And it's like, you know, COVID hit and everyone hated the news. There were bomb threats, which I was used to from being a kid, but it was still just sort of like, this is a little annoying.
For sure. Certainly not feeding the creative spirit.
Not feeding a positive.
No.
It felt like I was feeding fear or feeding something else. It was nice when we would do stuff for the community, and that always made me feel good, but I wanted to bring more joy.
Yep. Which I think is a beautiful thing to say, because the bad stuff is what gets the publicity, but deep down I think, you know, like this is not helping anybody.
No, I don't, and it's great if that's what you want to paint. It's, you know, I feel like I did that. I did some very expressive work that I will maybe show once in a blue moon.
Okay.
But only not like up anywhere, because they're creepy.
Right. I'm into that stuff though.
I'm into that stuff
I
too.
like creativity that pushes boundaries, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, even if it's not my cup of tea, I respect it. I like it.
Yeah, no, you know, and it's just sort of like, it's cool, but, you know, people, it's funny because I will post something a little different than this, and people are like, oh, unfollow.
Interesting.
And it's like, well, you know what, goodbye.
Yep.
If you can't handle these little pieces, then, if you can't be whatever, you understand.
It's really, really wild you say that, because I was thinking about that today, literally, of like, someone might have a perception of you that is completely untrue, and you really can't worry about that at all.
No.
It's like, whatever,
I can't have this parasocial relationship with you because it's not.
No, you know who you are. If they think you're a different way, that's a them thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a really, I think, in art, in any world you're in, I think that's a very important thing to come to terms with.
The validation has to come from within.
Yeah.
And I struggled with that for a little bit because, it got exciting when I suddenly had all these followers and I was like, ooh, ah. And then and then it was like, I have to do everything on time. I have to post. And I became this more of a content creator than I was an artist. And it was like I was rushing through paintings, things like that. And I just started getting really burnt out and I didn't want to do any of it. And it was realizing that I was burnt out on creating content, but not burnt out on making art. And I had to take a pause, take a step back, and like, okay, yeah, the likes are nice, but I have to like the paintings.
Absolutely.
And if the paintings I was making was sort of giving me like little bits of shame, I was like, they could be better. I rushed it. But it's like, it's done now. Or it was sold or something. And to me, I'm just sort of like, oh, but okay, it could be better. But that's a big issue with me. I'm always like, oh, it could be better. I could do better. Like, how could I be better today? Right? And so sometimes that can get me in a little bit of a tizzy. I've also been trying to do this thing at night where instead of just being like, how can I do better? It's like, well, what did you do like good today? And like, anyway, random tangent.
My favorite type of tangent, by the way, random ones, but I completely feel what you're saying. I think that is human. Like, I think that's just one of those things of you want to have that ambition and always push yourself, but you also got to give yourself that grace of like, hey, I've done some good stuff, man, and I'm not perfect.
Take a nap.
Yeah.
Eat a cookie. Anyway, whatever floats
you
your
got
boat.
a chance tomorrow, like it's one of those things. I think that's an important thing to talk about, because I think art specifically, it kind of rewards like the tortured artist.
Yeah.
The thought of it at least, but you're a person, man. Like, you're torturing yourself.
I don't like living in that swirl.
No.
And I have a few people that I'm trying to talk to and help out with in getting out, because once you get down into the spiral, it's harder to get out of, and you just have to stop the waterfall before it comes.
Yep.
And you have to have that light fire within, and you can't you can't be trying to get it from other people. Anyway, it's very difficult for some people, and it was very difficult for me for a lot of the years.
I think if anyone said it wasn't difficult, I wouldn't believe it.
That's very true.
It's supposed to be difficult.
I mean, if you're starting to think in that perspective, then you've started to analyze your life and you're having some deeper thoughts and everything.
Yeah.
You're judging all sorts of things as opposed to someone who might just be going with the flow, not thinking about anything.
Absolutely. It's a very tricky balance, but part of the game.
Yeah, it's a tricky balance.
It's a very tricky balance. It never ends. You touched on how you got like more exposure, but that kind of turned the creativity into content creation. Was there something specifically that you felt blew you up, for lack of better terms?
No, I don't know. I was just like consistent showing up.
Mostly works, like art, painting stuff?
Yeah, because what happened is I painted only for myself for a while. And so I just kept it to me. And then someone said, well, why don't you share it? And I was a little hesitant, but I paint a lot. I'm obsessive, right? And so it was sort of like, well, yeah, I'll share it, get these out of the world, everything like that.
Sure.
Yeah, it was just consistent. I had so many. I could post twice a day. have new art and, like those little diamond sticky companies.
Yeah.
I was surprised. They reached out to me and licensed some of my first artworks, and I was like, okay. Like, anyway, and it was just, I have no idea, but things worked out.
We try to script it, we try to plan it, and then meanwhile, it never goes according to plan anyway.
This was not my plan.
Exactly.
Yeah, this was not my plan at all. And it's just sort of fun. I've now just been like, well, it was social media, instead of being like, content creator must have it by this date. I've just been like, I'm throwing spaghetti at a wall and just trying to have fun with it again and make the content art again. It doesn't have to. Sometimes it doesn't have to be perfect, and other times also, it's fun to make. Like, I always thought film editing was a form of art. I think what you're doing now is a form of art, right? Maybe, I don't know, maybe because it just doesn't have numbers. No, I don't know.
I'll take it.
No, I just think there's creativity in our thoughts and in editing and in many things like that. And
right.
So trying to put that back into the idea that content creation is fun, and it's art as well. And if you're not enjoying doing art, then why are you doing it, Darcy?
Facts. Yeah, it's literally like the last thing. If you're not enjoying it, why would you do art?
Right.
It makes no sense.
Exactly. It's like, why do I sit for 11 hours a day like this?
True.
And it's like, I adore it. I don't know. There's something about the way the paintbrush goes on the canvas. I'm just addicted to it.
That's a very good addiction to have, I think.
I've had many, yes. I've tried a few. This is a great one.
There you go. There you go. Do you feel it helped you go
overcome?
Away? Yeah.
Oh my God, 100%.
Yeah.
I had some issues. Just I had started to not sleep because I was working so much. So I got Lyme disease, and then they found out that I had DID.
Lyme disease is like autoimmune?
Yeah, it's when a tick bites you.
Oh, right, okay.
And
very dangerous.
And yeah, and then it can affect your immune system, affect your stomach, brain. For me, it affected my brain, and it started to swell.
Wow.
And so I got some like weird damage from that. So they found out that I had DID, which is dissociative identity disorder. So I just sort of like had to hunker down, and just like I wasn't allowed to go anywhere for a while. And so it was just like, I guess I'll just paint again.
Mm. Wow.
I don't know what that tangent was.
No, I say wow because like, damn, that's some heavy stuff. And I think for you to be able to come out of that is very, very, very powerful.
It keeps me sane, putting the lines together, thinking of animals, their joyousness.
Right.
In contrast.
Yeah.
In contrast, my husband is a veteran.
Okay.
And so there's radios, MREs, we're prepared if there's a civil war or something happens. Right. But I'm just in my room like, fluffy alpacas, okay,
yeah,
gonna be in my bubble.
Again.
Exactly, and it's just sort of, it is that balance where it's like, okay, that's a little much, but I'm just gonna sit back over here.
Right. Again, I think that's life.
Yeah.
I think that's really just how it goes sometimes.
It's a great distraction.
Yeah. And you touched on the animals, and I know that's a major theme of your work. Was that always your style with painting?
You know what else? It's so funny. It started off, I just did geometrics, and then I was trying to do some anatomy of animals. And it just sort of, I was doing two things separately, and eventually I just combined them. And it became this thing that I can't stop doing. But before that, I was pouring art. I was using old Playboy magazines and like using pictures and assemblage and things like that. And I hadn't really found anything. I was just playing, I was exploring because I was coming back to art with an open mind. And it was like, well, what is my style? And it's like, I'll finger paint today. I don't know. But playing again, like reacting, like acting out, like with, is so silly. But when you just feel broken, it was great to play again. And it just woke me up in the best way possible. But yeah, it was just sort of this constant exploration until I found something. And I do random other things like, skulls and, my friends will ask me to do commissions for them, and they're so fun because it's so out of my territory.
Right.
So, I had for Shadowcasters, and it's a big skull with a mountain in it, and it, whatever, it's so...
Yeah, keeps your creativity.
Keeps me on my toes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, that's super cool. And your stuff is really dope because I think it has, like, you could tell it's you in each of these, but they're all quite different. Like, it's got your signature, but like this one compared to that one,
these two are really weird.
And but I could tell it's you, which is, I think, a pretty cool thing to have.
Yeah. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you.
No, because that's one thing I've talked about too. Like, if you're gonna put your work out there, I think you want people to know who you are.
Yeah.
Like, this is my stuff. This is my stamp.
Exactly.
And I think you have that with a lot of the stuff that you do.
I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
Someone came up to me at a party at a opening and said that to me. And anyway, it's just one of the best compliments in the sense that you don't have to. You're just sort of seen as your art.
Right.
You're like, oh, she was here.
Right.
I don't know if it's like graffiti or something exciting, like a little kid. I'd get excited.
Oh, it's beautiful, man. That's why, again, like when you said we could record in here, I was super excited because it's just art gallery is a very unique place, I feel. Like, you go to a bar, you're expected to buy drinks and potentially can get rowdy, whatever.
Right.
You want to go to a concert, awesome, but it's very loud, it's crowded. Art gallery, it's kind of quiet, you go decide how you want to view it. I really enjoy that.
And I think this gallery is really special because since there's 40 different artists,
Yep.
And they made it so no one would really compete, everyone is completely different. So when you come in here, you're just exposed to so many different things. There's something for everyone,
Yeah.
And there's something very sort of lackadaisical, when you go into an art gallery, you get to stroll.
Exactly.
You're expected to stroll. If you walk through fast, it's a little rude. So be a little lazy, take your time, smell the roses, and just, it's sort of fun.
Yeah, we even talked about it before the interview started of how, like, Phoenix, Scottsdale, wherever you want to say, sneakily, like, pretty crazy art scene out here.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Yeah, it's so wild that people, from out of state are bringing stuff here. I was at the T.H. Brennan 12 by 12 show, and I didn't realize, I just kind of enter things.
Sure.
And hope for the best, there we go. But I didn't realize, this was sort of an international thing, and people from like the Czech Republic and California were bringing in their little 12 by 12 paintings, and it was, this huge event, but it was and all of Scottsdale was lit up. Every gallery had a party with live music and cocktails and snacks, and it was just, I realized, well, this is like actually really happening.
Yeah. Absolutely.
This isn't just the Wild West, or the desert. There's a cosmopolitan atmosphere too. It's sort of interesting.
It really is. And we also you mentioned you used to live in LA and you came out here. Do you feel like out here has some of the California feel, but a little bit more laid back? Because that's what I always felt. It's close enough, but it's not.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's totally different. Maybe you're right in that it's California chill.
There's a touch of it,
The best part is the traffic isn't as bad. Because it would take me 2 hours to get like 30 miles in Los Angeles, and you could like watch Netflix and like get out of your car and go get a taco or something in traffic. And I couldn't do it anymore. And I did a pros and cons list because my mentor, someone said, why don't you come back to Los Angeles and I'll get you a gig doing something. And I had to think about it. And the only pro I could really think of at the time was the beach. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, I can't leave up and go just because I want to be near the beach. There were too many other cons, the list went on.
Yeah. So you stuck around here.
I stuck around here, yeah. And that was in like 2018 or something. 2019,
Yeah.
And I don't know, it was an affirming action to just be like, no, this is what I'm doing. I'm gonna try this out. Instead of running, which, or skipping town or something.
Yep. It's interesting because like I've started over in a new place, you've started over in a new place. It's very exciting, and it's a very big personal challenge, but also you can learn that if you continue just to do that, you kind of maybe lose some of the lessons that you would get of sticking around.
It's wonderful to build a community, and you can't do that if you have itchy feet.
Yeah.
And I would move to different parts of Los Angeles, or I would move, I'm like, I'm going to Bali.
Right.
And it, okay, it's a little off, but you would have a geographic change. You're still the same person wherever you go. But yeah, you have to rebuild your community. There's kind of an adrenaline rush. You get to be a new person. It's really exciting. But you're the new kid again, and it takes a long time in a big city. And it's really wonderful when you can have a community, like you go to a coffee shop or a gas station and they're like, oh, you again, hi. That's something that's really weirdly, I think, like we need to connect to people. And it's hard to do that when you're just constantly in chaos.
Yes. You said that really well. That was a really good explanation. And not to go too deep down this, but you mentioned the news earlier. I feel like that promotes not community. Like it promotes like, no, don't trust people, or don't, like COVID was the best example of that ever, probably.
It was so, what was so difficult is AZ Family did, I think, a great job. The problem is there was so much information. One day we would be like, don't wear masks. The next day we were like, do wear masks. And it was like, well, that's just what science said that day. And we're not trying to confuse you, but it's confusing us. And I was getting saturated with
For sure.
with stuff that wasn't even going on the news. And it was sort of like, oh my God, my head's going to explode.
Yep.
I can't handle any more facts. I do not want to hear any more things. It was just, I'm out. Sort of like, I don't want to have to listen to every speech every senator says and be like, oh, there's that clip. Okay.
Yeah. It's like you just want to be around some nice people doing some cool stuff.
But they did a great job with, they did a lot of community outreach, things that would make me cry because I'm a little bit of a crier. But, like really sweet things, where they'd offer a new car to someone who is in need. And
right.
So they'd help out during COVID. And so there was a lot of wonderful community things they did. But it was like, you can't get over all the other stuff.
For sure. It weighs on you, like things that you consume, food, whatever.
No, you doom
media.
scroll, you're going to be, yeah.
Yeah, you wear that in some way. Like it doesn't just go away. It does if you stop, but you know what I mean?
And I think the problem too is that I feel like a lot of media right now is just yelling. And they're yelling media. They're not yelling news. They're just trying to get scare entertainment out there.
Views,
exactly. They're trying to compete with everyone. And I feel like, unfortunately, it's taken a lot of people to stop watching the news and to stop paying attention to what's going on in the world. And people have taken a step back. And while that's okay, it also means that we've lost a lot of people, a lot of citizens that participate and really know what's going on. They're saying my truth or my opinion, and it's like, well, that's not a fact. Or things like that, I don't know.
No, I feel you, man. And again, I think these places are so valuable because it's community-based stuff, but it's about art, you know?
Right.
It's not like super controversial or...
I felt like every day was controversial. I had to go through, bomb little gates.
Yeah.
And, anyway.
It's stressful. I mean, that's one of those things that like, it does sound cool, but to be in the middle of that, it's like, man, every day.
It's just like, oh, could we just not today?
Yeah.
Could we just have a puppy?
Let's just chill, yeah.
And sometimes they would bring penguins in. That was great before COVID. There would be like a penguin randomly in the news
Penguin
office.
day.
Just like, oh, sweet, what a great work office. And they'd be like, here's sushi, it's 9 a.m.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just, it's such a different environment. And anyway, I'm just so grateful. If I had to go back, I would. But again, I think I now know that I have to paint or have balance.
Right.
With that. I can't just, I started working like from 2 a.m. to 8 p.m. And it was like that, just my work consumes me. And anyway, I think everyone is always working on balance, or most people. And I often go to extremes. And I'm working on coming towards the center.
I think you're doing a pretty good job of it.
Well, thank you. I just show
Absolutely.
up and do my best.
What else can you really do?
Exactly.
I mean, come on, man. We're not perfect.
We're not perfect. Just show up and do your best.
Just try your best. Exactly. I like that a lot. Do you have a favorite piece that you have up here? I'm trying to pick my own, to be honest, but I really like all of them.
Oh, you're so sweet. I love this dinosaur, Dino Ex Machina.
Based off the film?
Just, yeah. And, he sort of has the nice Jesus halo.
Okay.
Anyway, there's a lot to him that I'm just sort of adoring.
I like that.
He's ridiculous.
It's got a little stained glass vibe as well.
Yeah, but anyway, he makes me smile.
What can you ask more than that?
He's powerful. Or she, whoever wants it to be.
Hell yeah. That's beautiful stuff.
But the bobcat on the cactus is fun.
Yeah.
And people come in and it's really nice to talk to them and be like, yeah, bobcats actually climb on top of cacti and that's where they rest and take naps and hide from predators. But otherwise people will come in and be like, why in the world would you draw a bobcat up there? And it's fun to talk about nature with people. Everyone has a story with the javelinas.
Mm-hmm.
They come in, either they're absolutely adorable or they've been in their trash, and they're just a nuisance. And so it's just one of the, or both. So they're bittersweet.
Yes, still haven't seen one yet.
What?
Yeah, in a year and a half, people have showed me videos of them seeing it, whatever. Not seen one yet. I gotta see one.
They're so cute. Yeah,
I'll keep an eye out for the javelinas.
Except when you run into the male, and then he can be a little spooky. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the desert in general, I think, has this beauty to it, but also like that touch of spookiness.
I love it.
Me too. Very spiritual.
Mystical. I especially go to the superstitions.
Yeah. Yeah. All of those mountains. I completely agree. It's that was something that appealed to me before coming here. Like, okay, you're gonna be in the desert, like,
yeah,
it's different.
That's what I wanted. I wanted the open spaces, and someone took me to the Superstition Mountains, and it was, I was in Phoenix, and I kind of felt like, oh God, I'm trapped in another city.
Yeah.
And someone took me out there, and I was like, oh, I can take a deep breath. Look at all of this like vastness and this beautiful mountain, and this is just in our backyard.
Yeah.
And I hope it stays that way.
I agree.
But I'm gonna soak it up while I can.
Great attitude. It's here now.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't quite go out today because of the weather, but
Yeah, summers are
couple
hard.
months.
Yeah, I used to. Oh my gosh, I used to be crazy. I would do photography before I was painting, and so I would just go hiking, summertime, anytime. But I would start at like 2 a.m. and get there, for the sunrise and everything. But by the end, it's sort of like, like in Riddick, when the sun comes up and like everything gets blasted and
Yeah.
like everything
Yeah.
dies. I felt like that every time the sun rose. It was just sort of like, and all of the life is sucked out.
Now I think you're putting me on. Like, I haven't done that. I think I have to go do that.
It's fun. It's just
Sounds
interesting.
crazy. No, that's a great idea.
Anyway.
That's a great idea. Is Superstition your favorite mountains?
Yeah. Oh, they're so beautiful. The superstitions. I mean, Weaver's Needle is great. But I was obsessed with traveling around and exploring Arizona's vast spaces for about 2 years.
That's a great strategy. Any favorites or recommendations?
Or recommendations. I can just, Weaver's Needle is so great.
Where is Weaver's Needle?
It's in the superstitions as
Okay.
well. It's in Apache Junction.
Okay.
And then, gosh, I mean, I wonder if the Fossil Creek is so wonderful. This one time I went hiking with a friend out here, and it was the best because we went hiking down in the superstitions, and then they were like, hey, let's go check out Fossil Creek, and I'll go get a pass real quick. And it worked out. We got a pass to go into Fossil Creek. So the next a couple hours we did that, which is like an 8-mile hike. And it's this oasis, right? Have you been?
No.
It's gorgeous,
up
like
north?
blue water. Yeah, a little bit up north. Little caves, bright blue water. You can jump off things.
Damn.
And you're going down in the middle of the desert, and then suddenly there's this gorgeous oasis. So we went there, and then they were like, hey, why don't we go to the Grand Canyon? And I was sort of like in the moment of just sort of like, okay, I'll just go with the flow. And so my backpack was broken. I didn't have any snacks or anything like that. But we, spent the night in the car. We parked somewhere. I have no idea. I just followed them and hoped for the best. And then we ended up being at the Grand Canyon the next morning.
Sick.
And we did the 16-mile hike in the heat.
Damn.
And I just remember this person was just like, tra-la-la-la-la. And I was like,
I have a buddy that did that hike, and he talks about it like it was like prison almost. Like he's like, man, it almost killed me.
But there was parts where you're just in between caverns, and it's like a little oven.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. Good for you, man. That's adventure.
It was fun.
Real adventure.
It was good to just go with the flow and check things out.
Hell yeah.
And I was lucky that I had a job that at the time I worked nights.
Okay.
And they were really flexible. I was working at the news, and I was working as a contractor. And so
Daytime was free.
daytime was free. So I kept weird hours, but it worked out.
I could see that, man. You got a very nice wall up here. I know you've done like a few events for yourself, openings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You just had one. You have the little on the edge
Yes.
outside, which was super cool. Anyone's in Scottsdale, you got to come check that out.
It is so darling. We had jewelers make their jewelry cases, or this miniaturist. And it's just absolutely incredible, the detail that went into everything. And I just love the art that's in there. And apparently some collectors have already been curious about things in there, which is sort of wonderful.
It is. So that's yours though. You did that, or
It was a group project.
it was a group project? Okay, very
Yeah.
cool. How did it even come about? Did the gallery bring it up?
This wonderful lady, she paints miniatures. Esme. Esme. Oh no.
I'll put her name up
Okay.
for sure.
Anyway. But she does miniatures because she travels a lot for work.
Okay.
And so she can't do big things. And so she has a teeny tiny palette and a teeny tiny little canvas, and she's at the airport, just like having a martini painting. And on the back of all of her paintings say, where they were. Anyway, I love selling her stuff. But she had the idea of doing a miniature gallery, and wouldn't that be kind of an attraction? And so she found some miniaturists, and we had our guy Rich Roberts. He does steel sculptures. He's around the corner.
Okay.
But he built the whole frame of it out of steel, and the pillar out of steel. And so it's like a piece of artwork in and of itself. It's sort of a little tourist attraction.
Yeah.
But like I have to turn on the lights on Thursdays, and you have to get a little screwdriver out, open the door, and then you got to go in and turn on ding, 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 each tiny little light bulb. And they have such little clickers that it's so hard for my fingers to get. It's so intricate and cute. And there's going to be more. Like, it's going to get better.
Nice.
This was sort of like, I won't lie. There were moments when I was getting messages like, oh my God, everything's falling off the wall. I was like, oh, okay. Anyway, but it's been a fun project and fun distraction. And it's great. It's become a big group project.
Mm-hmm. That's really cool. No, that's a great idea. I think it brings something to the gallery for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I really enjoyed our conversation, Darcy. Is there anything you'd want to promote? Any stuff you want to show off? Anything you got coming up to promote yourself?
Well, I don't know. I'll be at the 515 Gallery doing a show called Melt.
Okay.
Over the summer. I travel for a little bit, but then I come back and I'll do that. And then depending on when this airs, there's also, I have a Coach event on June 27th where I'll be painting bookmarks for people.
Right. Coach, you mentioned this before, Coach, the bag brand.
Right.
That's pretty cool. Can you talk about how that came together at all, or?
Yeah, it was awesome. Super simple. You get a lot of emails as an artist that are like, hello, your artwork is wonderful. Give me as an NFT, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so you have to weed out all the spammy ones and scammy ones. And so I got this email from Coach, and they just said, would you like to partner? And I was like, okay, but you gotta FaceTime me so I know you're real.
Smart, very smart.
And they FaceTime me from New York, and they overnighted me a bookmark. But up until I got paid, it was still just like, this is a scam. Like I'm always a little on edge about things. It was like, it's so nice. I don't know. But apparently they just found me by looking up Scottsdale artists, and this one picture of me pops up first, which is great.
It's the universe.
It's the universe. It worked out. I don't know how I wondered if someone had referred me, but it was just as simple as that. SEOs work, I guess.
Yeah, good for you. That's a really sweet plug there.
Yeah.
Hopefully they toss you a bag or something. That'll be cool.
Why not?
Put it in the universe again. That's super cool, man. And I think that's a great way of showing you never know where things are going to go. You never know. You keep going and...
Just put one foot in front of the other. Do your best. Show up, like I say. Yeah. And, I don't have extravagant goals, but great things keep happening as long as I keep showing up, not being a dickhead.
Got to write that on a t-shirt or something.
I have a tattoo that reminds me to not be a dickhead.
I love that. What does it say?
It says, Lord, forgive me.
Okay, but translation is, don't be a dickhead.
Yeah, it's, the red lines are for people who hurt me, and then this is for people who I hurt. Not like stabby or anything, but...
Yeah, emotionally.
Emotionally or, trauma, everything. And I was 18 when I got the tattoo, and I wasn't really thinking, do I really want to put that on my arm? Anyway. But I've turned it into, don't be like those people. Don't be an asshole. Treat everyone with kindness. Show up.
Hell yeah. I'm with you, man. You're speaking my language. I think you have a really great story, and you're a great artist. I really, really enjoy your work, and I'm excited to see what you do next.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for letting me tangent with you.
My pleasure. What's the best way for people to find you and buy your work?
You can find me on at Darcy Does Art on Instagram, or you can also go to darcyborgart.com, and that's where all my artwork is for sale.
Hell yeah, man. Buy some pieces. You got some prints as well, which is very cool. So we're on the Edge, by the way, in Scottsdale, Main Street.
Check it out. It's a great gallery. It's all local artists. It's a co-op, so we do everything from clean the restrooms to manage the finances, you know. So we really take care in everything, and really, you know, it's amazing.
Real DIY.
It's a real DIY.
Love that. Awesome. Shout out to you, Darcy.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Versatile Vigilante. Like, comment, subscribe. You know all about that. Let's get it, man. 2026.